found out I was going to hunt with Steve, I was ecstatic. He asked me if I wanted to be on Elk Camp TV, and I was like, let me think about that for just a second. I said, sure.
You know, on the first morning of the hunt, we go hunt some pine country where a burn had occurred a few years ago, and we're able to get on a bull that's bugling, and so we move in and check him out.
Got a good look at him, big hair and clunking. It was like really cool. He just trotted off in that direction, like he had a hot cow over there or something.
Yeah, he didn't care a lot about me, really, did he?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
He might have had a cow that might have smelled better.
Right there with him.
Elk Camp with Steve Chappell is brought to you by Bergara Rifles. Our barrels make the difference. Rocky Mountain Hunting Calls. We call the game. Zeiss Sports Optics. Confidence in the toughest conditions. Scree. Extreme Mountain Gear. And by Steve Chappell's Zero Hunt Fees. Experience Arizona elk hunting with zero hunt fees. Elk Camp with Steve Chappell is brought to you by Bergara Rifles. Our barrels make the difference.
You know, a morning or two later, we decide to hunt the pinyon juniper country, and the bulls are bugling fairly decent for us. And as we move toward a bull that's bugling off in the distance, all at once we have a bull bugle right up close to us, and let me tell you, he's super close. Well, as you saw, this bull walked right out into the open and I was able to get him stopped. But when he looked over and saw Davis at full draw, he just didn't like what he saw. And Davis was already squeezing the trigger on the release, and the bull bolted immediately when the bow went off.
That was a lot better morning.
Yeah. Pretty exciting.
Yeah.
I don't have to go to the cardiologist now. Oh my gosh, yeah.
A lot better morning. We're gonna get you one, Davis.
Oh man,
Just be patient with me. We're gonna get you
I'm
one.
patient. I'm just a little nervous. And some of these bulls are nice and big.
Yeah, hunting with Steve is one of the coolest things I've ever encountered, especially elk hunting. The guy is unbelievable. His calling, his attitude, his spirits are always up. Just a great Christian outlook, and I like that about Steve.
So just like most afternoons here in Arizona, the elk proved to be very sluggish to bugle. And so after waiting and not hearing any bugling, right at prime time, we started hiking back to the truck, and I decided that I had nothing to lose, so I started blowing some cow calls. And after blowing a few cow calls, lo and behold, we heard a good sounding bull bugling off to the west of us.
All right, well, we just did have something pretty exciting happen. Right as we were walking out, we knew there was a pond right down here in the bottom. There was a bull bugling down there, and we got pretty close.
Yeah, really close.
Yeah, but he had cows, and he was at the pond, and I tried calling at him a little bit, but he wasn't going to do anything with it, so.
Dark got us.
Yeah, it got dark on us, so we'll be back in here in the morning, and we're going to get something done, Davis.
You betcha.
All right.
This episode of Elk Camp is sponsored by Steve Chappell's Zero Hunt Fees. Experience Arizona elk hunting with zero hunt fees.
Well, a morning or two later, we're hunting the cedar pinyon country again, and we finally get the bulls to bugle a little bit after gray light. Well, as the morning continues, we hear a bull that's bugling off in the distance. And as we get in close to him and I cow call to him, he doesn't seem to be real responsive or aggressive to it. So I decide to go ahead and get Davis set up, and I'm going to try the lip ball bugle at this bull.
Good that we got some footage of him, considering how thick it was.
This episode of Elk Camp is sponsored by Rocky Mountain Hunting Calls. We call the game.
Hey guys, for this week's tip, I want to talk to you about the lip ball bugle, or when I use it more specifically, I like to call it the bull calling cows bugle. Now I use this call in a scenario where I'm in tight with a herd bull and he's very agitated and very defensive of his herd. And what you're doing is you're soliciting his cows to come over to you, and he's not going to let that happen, so he's going to come over and look to fight you. So now that you know about this call, let me demonstrate it for you. Guys, remember, you can use the bull calling cows bugle in a scenario when you get in tight with a herd bull and he's very defensive of his cows. Blow it with a lot of aggression and you'll get great results with it. And I want to wish you the best of luck on your hunts this fall.
This episode of Elk Camp is sponsored by Zeiss Sports Optics. Confidence in the toughest conditions. This episode of Elk Camp is sponsored by Scree, Extreme Mountain Gear.
Well, as the hunt wears on and Davis and I continue to grind it out, you know, we're down to the last couple of days of the hunt, and I really want to get Davis a bull, and I know he really wants to fill his tag with a nice bull as well. And you know, as we go out on this afternoon, I decide to go to an area where a couple of years ago I had success with Chris Scruggs. And you know, as we sit there waiting for the bugling to start up in the afternoon, we hear a bull bugle off in the distance, and it gives us a glimmer of hope.
When we were moving in on this bull, my level of excitement was through the roof because we really wasn't far from the bull. We heard him up on this ridge and we were just down in the drainage paralleling this bull, and Steve looked back at me and he goes, I think he has cows because he is screaming his head off. And I'm like, well, if anybody can call him in, Steve Chappell can. So I'm like, I wasn't going to worry about it too much.
Good job. Awesome. God, thank you. Thank you, Lord. Gosh, you're in the same spot. I don't know if I can do this. You're crazy.
Nice job, Davis.
Thank you.
You just crushed one, man. That looked like a great shot to me.
Oh.
Man, you know, just when we think it's not going to happen, and I kind of guessed that he had cows by the way he was bugling frequently like
And
that.
moving.
Yeah, and moving around. We snuck in here, man. You guys snuck up here and got set up good. I got back here. Finally got to get a good setup, I felt like.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, you're.
man, he tore this heartbreaker up.
Oh, man, he really liked that call. Oh, I do too. Matter of
You
fact.
got yourself a bull, Davis.
Thank you, Steve.
Yes.
I really appreciate it.
I never
God,
like to
look.
assume until we find it, but man, that sure looked good to me. That looked really good.
You know what? You can't beat this. This is the best in the world right here.
Yeah.
Archery bull in Unit 9.
Yep. Yep.
With Steve Chappell on top
This
of
is
that.
how we do it here at Elk Camp, right? Calling them up, bugling.
You betcha.
That's
Love
how
it.
we like to do it, man. Congrats.
Oh, love it, brother.
Thanks, Elliot.
Thank you, Elliot. Let's go find some blood. Yes, thank you, Lord. I'm sitting there praying.
That's your bull, Davis.
Oh, my God. Wow.
Awesome, Davis.
Dude, that's awesome, bull.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Yeah. What a hunt, man.
Oh, my
Call
gosh.
them in like that. Good job. Awesome.
Oh, my gosh. What a beautiful bull.
Yeah. That was a fun hunt this evening, Davis, and most evening hunts, as we were talking about, are fairly poor, but you know, you just never know. We heard him bugle him 2 or 3 times this evening, and we finally decided, hey, let's get up and go toward him. He sounded like he was a long ways off, and
Yeah.
we cut the distance down and got him tight on him, and boy, he liked the cow call.
Oh, he really jumped on that heartbreaker.
Yeah,
Awesome hunt.
yeah,
Grind it out. Get it done.
yes, we did.
Beautiful bull.
Getting down toward the end, so
Yeah.
we'll take this one and thank the Lord for him.
You
for sure.
betcha. Yes, thank you, Lord.
Yeah,
Beautiful bull. Thank you, Steve.
absolutely. Good job again.
Thank you, brother.
Way to end this hunt at Elk Camp, brother.